Hi everyone. Oops. Welcome to Center of Balance and Acupuncture TCM. I'm Szenan Phua, the acupuncturist and Chinese medicine herbalist. So last time we talked about male infertility testing, and today I'm going to talk about female infertility testing. So we're going to include what sort of testing you're going to get, and when should you see a doctor to discuss about infertility testing. And apart from in the Western medicine, the testing in Western medicine, and what about in Chinese medicine? What sort of testing that are we going to use or apply for our patients, right? So, yeah, we're going to include Chinese medicine and Western medicine testing. So a woman's fertility begins to decrease following at the age of about 30. A woman under 35 should visit a doctor after 1 year of trying to get pregnant. So one woman 35 and if over 35, then you should visit a doctor after 6 months of trying. So your doctor will first take your medical history, like same as in Chinese medicine, will take your medical history. So the doctor, they will ask about current stage of your health, your sexual history, and any conditions or illness that could contribute to infertility. Now in our clinic, what we do is we actually have a form that you have to fill in that we talk about, and on those forms, and we collect the information about your health, general health, and sexual history, and any condition or illness that really would they be able to, would think about, are they going to contribute to your infertility? So for an example, like over here, this is the testing that we do. By asking a question, we understand what thing that relate, what your conditions relate to your organs. Okay, let's say if you have headaches weekday, people get migraine, get headache, right? And some people get migraine once a month. That is due to period. When you have menstruation, you get period, and you get headaches, you get migraine, and that indicate hormone issues, right? So that when that indicate hormone issues and we link to your period, we know that is something wrong in there. So we need to figure out what's going on with which organs. So it could be the heart, it could be stomach and spleen, it could be kidney or liver, or even lung. So we need to figure out what causing your migraine every month, that when you have your period. Then once we sort out your migraine, it looks like it's a general health, but they actually link to your infertility. Right? Once we get rid of the migraine, then that means that your hormone is balanced. That means that the organ is balanced again. We function properly again. So that could be one of the reasons that interfere with your fertility health. Okay, the fertility health. Okay, then on the Western doctor, they will perform an examination of your pelvic area to check your abnormalities, such as fibroids or conditions such as endometriosis or PID. Then in this part in Chinese medicine, we actually refer you to a fertility doctor that will perform some further testing like x-ray, things like that. We'll talk about it later on. So your doctor, Well, want to see if you are ovulating. We want to see that too every month. And we want to know that too as an acupuncturist if we treat infertility patient. This can be determined with an at-home ovulation testing kit. That kind of thing. Okay, there's a lot of different kits that you can figure out the hormone. You can test it at home. So we suggest that. And apart from there are a lot, okay, ovulation testing kits, testing the hormone through you can do at home. More further that apart from that, we actually asking our patient to do BBT. BBT means basal body temperature. And we'll give you a chart. So you every morning that you put the thermometer under your tongue and then take it out for a few minutes or 5 minutes and then take down the reading every day, put in the chart. And there's an app as well. We suggest Fertility Friends. If you go to fertilityfriends.com, download the app, and then you can just put all the data into it, and then we can see the temperature change. Then we'll be able to tell whether you're ovulation or not from the chart, BBT chart, we call it. Apart from that, of course, we ask you to do blood tests. So in the lab, and that could tell whether you ovulation or not. And for the Western doctor, what they do at the moment, they mainly ask you to do blood tests. They don't. I haven't seen a lot of, fertility doctor that suggests to do ovulation testing kits, but that's very common. Actually, it's very common. You do this kits, ovulation testing kits at home and using BBT, and BBT is something that we definitely suggest for our patient because this is the easier way. For it only costs a thermometer, and every morning you just do it. And we have a paper to tell you how to take the chart and what to do step by step. For home ovulation testing kits, you can do that too, and it's not must, but we suggest you do that too, so we get BBT chart and the home ovulation testing kits. So two of them, we put it together, so we figure out when you ovulation. For the ovulation, you can also look at the cervical mucus, and we'll show you how to, not show you, we teach you, we give you the knowledge how to test it. There are a lot of knowledge, you can Google it as well. Okay. Next, and sometime apart from what we just mentioned, an ultrasound may also be used to examine the ovaries and uterus. And other common tests for women, including that is more in the Western doctor side, but we acupuncturists, fertility acupuncturists, and fertility Chinese medicine herbalists, we do recommend to do those tests as well. And one of the tests is X-ray. X-ray used to evaluate the fallopian tubes and uterus. Okay, so that is important too. What if your fallopian tube, block? Then we need to understand that, right? We use the ultrasound to be able to help with that as well. And laparoscopy, which use a camera to examine the internal organs. So normally this part is going to see whether you have you suffer from endometriosis, right? And that is the only way to figure out endometriosis, because endometriosis could be a lot of pain during your period or before your period, you know, and in general you get a lot of tummy pain. That's the main signs. But there is silent endometriosis, which means you don't get any pain at all. It's silent, and that could be one of the main reason that prevent you to get pregnant. And that the only way to go through it is for laparoscopy, right? That's the only way. Yeah. So in the end, to be honest, if we see a patient and we trying for acupuncture or Chinese surgeon trying IVF also think, and it's not successful, and we will actually suggest laparoscopy, because this is the only way to figure out whether you suffer from silent endometriosis or not. Okay. Ovaries. For the ultrasounds that we use that to figure out the ovaries, whether you have PCO, like PCOs stand for polycystic ovaries, right? So it can find out whether you have cysts in the ovaries or not, and as well as on the uterus and whether they have fibroids or not, right? Ovarian reserve testing, that is a blood test, and which use a combination of hormone tests to determine a woman's potential of conceiving. Relevant tests including the follicle stimulating hormone, which called FSH, right? So those are the lab tests that I just mentioned about, that are useful for to figure out what's going on, what causing your infertility, right? So whether it's on the Western side or in the Chinese medicine, the acupuncture side, and we do agree with those tests, and we use that too. Well, although we in New Zealand, I always suggest my patient, there's a list of tests you should do, but it doesn't mean you have to do everything. You know, we have to pick the right one for you to do. But basically, the blood test is common. Everyone do that, you know, but not for the laparoscopy or X-ray or ultrasound. Not every patient need that. Okay, not like you. Okay, I can't get. I'm below 35 years old. If you're below 35 years old and then you've been trying for 1 year, about 1 year, and you need to do all the tests I just suggest. Not like that. Definitely not like that. Or you are over 35 years old after 6 months of trying, and you need to do all the tests I just mentioned. Not like this, you know. The most common that everyone need to do that is the blood test. That's it. Blood test, okay? Not for the X-ray, ultrasound. That's too far, okay? We need to figure out. We need to ask the question. You need to get a consultation with us or with the fertility doctor. Then we go through all the questionnaire. We collect all the information, and we will suggest you whether you need, you know, it's worth to get a X-ray or ultrasound to rule out some issues, things like that. Okay. Next, talk about Chinese medicine. So we call about testing, right? Our testing, what do we do in our field in the testing? You know, in the old time, we don't have blood tests, we don't have laparoscopy and X-ray, ultrasound. We don't have that kind of thing. We don't even have ovulation testing kits. What we do, simply asking the question. To figure it out, the testing for us is simply ask the question. We figure out what organs are the balance. The kidney and bladder and kidney function, it control reproductive system. So there are a lot of kidney function there, we need to ask. Do you get up to go to the toilet at night time? When you go for urine, can you empty properly? You know, how often do you go? And as a urine smell, things like that, right? And or the liver control, and go to the pelvic part. And we will ask about the emotion over here. Do you get angry, depression, irritability, stress, or impatient? The kidney, that's fear. Do you get scared easily? Things like that to figure out which organ's causing it, right? That's one thing. And then we ask you, the testing we ask you to do is BBT chart. You know, take your basal body temperature, and then to give you the information about how to look at use the what we call cervical mucus to figure out when do you actually ovulate it, right? Those are the tests that we can do without going to blood tests, things like this. The old time that we do that, and we still apply those because they are very helpful. All right. Now, I think that's it for today. I'm Szenan from Center of Balance, the acupuncturist in AcuTCMSchool. Now, if you are a patient, if you'd like to know more, please follow us. If you need to get an appointment, our contact detail is down there or up there. If you're an acupuncturist, you want to learn more, please follow us and share this live video as well. And on YouTube, please turn on the notification bell, something like that, and keep following us. And we have online courses that for practitioner. If you want to learn more, email us. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.